Hello and welcome. If you are coming back and returning, how are you? Good to see you. If you are new, welcome. My name is Carrie. I am a medium and I also help people develop their intuitive abilities, especially after awakening. So today we're going to be doing a collective message. Before I turned record on, I connected in with the guides, angels, and ancestors to bring forth a message that was going to really serve you today. And I also want to share with you my own personal experience. I've been feeling in my own space, but also with my clients and my collective, that many people are feeling their connection with their guides and with their higher purpose, but it feels vague and it feels as though people aren't able to get clear messages or understanding of what's next for them. And I think we're all feeling this. So the reading today is going to be focused on what do we need to know? What do we need to let go of? And what really comes next? I think it's a great place to start. I hope you do too. We're going to start out first with some smoke to clear the space, some incense here. And this in particular is frankincense. So we will be clearing the space, just releasing anything that does not serve us, that isn't for our highest good. So we'll release it first counterclockwise, unwinding it, letting it go. And then we're going to bring in our highest good, clarity messages, protection, and information. Let's get this started. So I very much am feeling the energy, both in my own space and I believe for the collective, of feeling compression, feeling almost weighted down. I get a sense from Spirit and the guide that there's a reason for this, that this is not us being complacent. This is not us taking non-action. This is because we're meant to be in this holding pattern. And often when we're on our spiritual path, as humans, we want to move forward. We want to figure things out. We want to get the answers. And we want clarity. However, when we're on our spiritual path and we are ascending, we're also letting go of the ego self. And the ego self often wants to climb, wants to have answers, wants clarity, and really doesn't want to feel confused or cloudy. And I think on my own path, I'm learning that that's often part of the journey. It's in your humanness and your moments of lack of clarity that you really gain this connection with the divine and you reach for the divine. And that's where you start building in this soul memory, knowing I always work through these troubled times. We are certainly living in troubled times. And so now, clouds. We're getting this indication of the long-term effort will be worth the payoff. And we're seeing that here with the tree. You know, in Lenormand, which is this card system, that the tree indicates, first of all, your physical reality, your connection to your roots, to the earth, to Mother Gaia, but also it moves slowly. It doesn't move fast. So having the clouds right next to the tree really tells us this is where we are right now. This is where we are. But notice right underneath, this person has light coming through. So it's a temporary phase. We also do have good news coming. There is a delivery of sorts because we have the stork coming up. The stork indicates a bundle of joy of some type, a gift being given. So it's on the horizon, certainly for us. And then also, let's be patient about it. Not easy. Not an easy thing to do with the dog here. So we'll take this as us being the dog in this reading. We will look at ourselves as loyal, as devoted, as connected, and as reconnected to our physical experience during this ascension process. And what can we expect coming up for us right now in this time and space? Again, take this as it resonates. The maturity is going to pay off. The lily is here. And the lily really tells us this could be someone who is a mature, maybe mentor, or this could be our own higher self coming in and saying to us, now's the time to use your discernment. Don't rush into the next thing. Understand that you're getting clarity each day when you approach things not from more of a volatile way of exploring, your path or what options are. The other thing I am hearing is something about your guides are saying there's a gateway you're going through. And this gateway is something you're experiencing actually, as we say, in the spiritual plane or on the spiritual plane, which is taking you from where you are now to where you're going. Like you're on a runway and you're starting in this space of lack of clarity and uncertainty, what's coming next, but you're being held in this terminal of support. And you're moving through this to the next destination, not knowing what happens next. So here are your guides communicating. And this is where we're going to really dovetail a bit more deeply into this reading. What is their message? They're giving us little Easter eggs here. So we're going to leave the card of the birds here because I'm going to take that as a spiritual messenger. And then we have the stability of home, right? So this means your own home. This means your connections, your family, loved ones, but also the ancestor root, and then the fullness of stability, of needing stability. So I'm going to just dovetail in and just see what the guides are sharing with us because their message is here showing themselves as the birds. Communication in this case. What is it they want us to know? Often with my students and those that I work with in sessions, we work a lot on this is understanding how to hear your inner voice and then also how to hear, sense, and feel your intuition and your guides. And that process sometimes takes time. And we have to get through layers in our own experience, our own energy field, our own paradigm, what we have in our aura, what we've carried with us through lifetimes in order to sense and feel that clearly. So be sure to be proud of the development you already have done and that you're tuning into your guides just like a transistor radio, getting information and guidance. These are all things that I teach in my membership. Information can be found below. More about that later. Your guides. You have the whip coming out. And then the bear. You have book. And you have the tower. So you have some interesting energies coming up right away. So what we're getting here is there's a repetition of something you're doing over and over and over again, which might be causing you self-harm in the way of trying to do your spiritual work, to live in a way that you are following your path. But there's an over-discipline here is what I'm sensing. And I'm getting this message from your guides about being tried and true to what works for you, not repeating what other people are doing. And so sometimes when that happens, we need to look to models if we don't feel like we have a spiritual acumen or a discipline or a practice that fits for us, but maybe find people that are doing things in your world who you connect with, that maybe they have spiritual practices that you admire, you feel as though, oh, that's something I would like to do. Sometimes we need to be learning from other people in a mentorship situation, and there's the bear. So the wisdom of, in this case, a wise mentor or a wise source to help you move past this, again, kind of taxing, beating yourself up kind of energy of the whip. Also, this could be someone who has this could be a mother wound, which is a mother who probably criticized you and made you feel as though if you're not doing things the way she projected, that you were a failure. That could definitely be this card as well, and this combination of cards. So it's something you really want to think about. Is that in your ancestry? Is that in your makeup, which makes you feel like you have to fight for everything you have or you're not doing it correctly? When it comes to our spiritual practice and healing and being on our journey, this is where we learn, sometimes it's more the undoing of all what we've had in the past, and it's more of the being and the awareness. And that's where we come in here, that maybe knowledge is power here. So this is, again, can be related to study, can be related to something you don't know and learning more about it, if this is what your desire is. If you're wanting to get more information about the things you're interested in, whatever it is, let's say you want to study something, or you're interested in developing some part of yourself, this might take a bit of knowledge here and a story that unfolds for you. Now, we have the Tower card. This is not the same as it is in tarot. This is very different. In this case, I feel like this could be you learning from more of a structured, I would say, either a discipline of sorts or something that is connected to, again, maybe a belief system or a form of study or something that you don't have knowledge about. For me, this is pairing those two together. It feels really important. So your guides are coming forth going, there's more to learn here. There's more to learn. So how do we get connected to them? Maybe we need to spend some time figuring that out. And could be this combination of ease and not overdoing it, but also learning new things, which I think is going to really help you quite a bit. I'm feeling like I want to move on to oracle cards now. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm going to keep my guide card here in case they do have more to say. So let's just bring through the higher guides now. So in this case, I'm talking to your guides, and also if there are ascended masters here, angels and higher spirits that are here to help you for your highest good, what their message might be to you. So let's just bring in some oracle here. See what we have. The image I'm getting here clairvoyantly is of a head splitting right in half, and of literally the contents of your head being opened. I really feel like this is more to do with you, first of all, examining beliefs and systems that don't align with you anymore. But also there are these higher guides, likely who are helping you with healing, transformation, and giving you guidance. And in order for them to come in closer to be able to help you, there does need to be a certain amount of quieting the mind, observing, peace, clarity. How do we get these things? When we live in a busy world, we have busy minds. The fates are here. So you've been asking for this prompt. You've been asking for this guidance. You've been asking for this message. What do I need to know? What is for my wisdom and my highest good in this moment? So it feels very serendipitous. So you're getting the message you need, possibly in this moment or right around this time, which will help you with quieting the mind, getting the information, doing the changes, and releasing. We're getting the go to see card here. For me, as you can see, there's an image at the top, which I believe is higher self, but also guides, the higher guides. And you can also see this woman here in this bathtub surrounded by water. This is the metaphor, which could be seen as being connected to nature, maybe also doing some meditation within water. That's something that I love to do as well, to quiet the mind and the body, is being submerged in water taking a bath or even a shower or walking by water, that's a way for you possibly of quieting the mind. And know this, regeneration is here and it's working from the root up. So that means all that Kundalini energy and all of the molten center of what's in your lower chakras is being cleared and curated all the way up. So I can feel this moving up your chakra system. It's sometimes we work with healing, we work from the top chakras down, but in this case for you in this moment, it feels very much like it's working from the first chakra up. So that's how you are opening up those hemispheres of your brain to clear things out. These blockages, programming, shadow work is here. We're getting the orphaned card. So that's all part of this. The things that we're getting is on our, and I'm getting the chills when I say this. So we're getting the very primal things are what have made you the way that you are in this moment has to do with issues connected to earlier parts of life or other time frames in past lives. Let's pull a final card here and then we'll pull some tarot and see what that has for us too. I just want to encourage you, if you're on your path and you're feeling like you would like guidance, information, support, yes, I have a community called The Sanctuary, and it's a beautiful space to support you, as well as I do readings. So that's all part of what is available. Information below. Here we go. Spirit guides coming in, needing a leg up. We can't do this alone. This is one of the things that separates us as human beings from divine, is that we think we have to shoulder this all ourselves. And so spirit is here coming into this large polar bear as a guide to let you know you don't have to be separate anymore. Sometimes we really need help, support. And then finally here, this is so beautiful. And then we're going to pull a couple of runes as well. We have the yin card, which is the divine feminine. So when you're in the space of the divine feminine energy, what that means is receptivity. That means creation. That means being a magnet. That means holding space for what comes non-action. Very important for you. Then we're getting the Soulmates card, which could be many things. This could be a partnership. This could be you connecting with your guides and higher self, but also you balancing out yourself, which means higher self and physical, which also means masculine and feminine energies. A few runes are in order, I think you would agree. I love my precious rune collection here. I have from MJ Cullinan, who created the Crow Tarot deck, actually. It's really special. She doesn't do many of these. I don't even know if she's selling these on her website any longer, but we're going to just pick two. What do we need to know? Okay, they came out very quickly. All right, are you guys ready? Okay. So first we have Sowilo, which represents sun, light, and power. Then we have Ura, which is cycles, growth, and fertility. How absolutely beautiful. So we have these two together. So often people do look at the divine masculine as the sun, as the solar energy, as the masculine energy of force. And for me, it is really showing that as we're opening up, we're doing this clearing, we're connecting with our guides, but we have been in a position of not knowing what comes next. What we can know is that as we open up and we allow and we connect, that sun energy is going to help us grow. It's going to help us deeply develop what it is that we desire for our spiritual growth, awareness, and understanding, but also that the partnership with spirit and our guides means that we don't always have to know the outcome. as we open, sometimes those answers don't come until later. So allow for that process to occur. This reading has been really special. I want to thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, but also be sure to sign up for notifications. I'd love to see you again. All right, take care.